I was wrong. Guess which ones sold the fastest? Guess real quick. What is happening, everybody? Chris Jones here. Welcome back to another episode of the World's Worst Fishing. Thank you all for being here today and taking time out of your schedules to watch some of my content. Before we get started, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and of course tell your friends, because just like every other YouTuber, we want to keep growing. Alright, so with all that out of the way, today's video is going to be more focused on at least how I run the bait business side of things. So the vast majority of my content, most of my videos are about either like teaching lure making or just showing y'all some cool stuff that we're working on, new ideas, new color ideas, new techniques, you know, new mold releases, new product releases, things like that. This video is going to kind of focus on what do I do with all these baits that I make. So if you see me make something in a video, chances are I probably tried to sell them after the video was over, or after they were made. And so I get a lot of questions from new bait makers who maybe want to start transferring out of the hobby towards a business, right? And I get a lot of questions about, you know, well, how should I do that? How can I do that? Who do you use to ship your baits? How do you sell your baits? Where do you sell your baits? A lot of my audience wants to buy baits from me, and I get a lot of questions about how you can do that. So this video is going to kind of show my process. So we're actually going to start with making a few baits, and then we're going to do like a live, real-time bait drop where I do one of my bait sales posts, and I'm going to show you that in real time, me responding to potential customers, and just take you through the whole sales process all the way up to dropping them off in a mailbox once they're shipped out and gone. So we're going to do that. So I already have quite a few things laid out here on the table. Now, about half of this is already sold. So these green color shift shads, that's kind of the one that a lot of people want to buy. Those are actually for a friend who's buying those like from me in person. These turned out really cool. These sort of color shift turquoise shads. Those are sold. These kind of yellow and red ginger ninjas are sold. However, I still haven't sold this big box of Okeechobee Magic from our latest video. I haven't sold these drizzle faux shizzle. They almost look like green and black flames swim baits there. So we're actually making some more stuff, and you can see these are the 5-inchers, and I'm gonna basically just make a few of my best-selling colors. That way you can that way we can like film the bait drop in real time, because if I make something really abstract or weird, you know, it may not sell all that fast, but I wanted to try to capture some of the process in real time. So basically I already have my shad dots poured, so we're gonna make some stuff here. Obviously we're gonna be using dead-on plastics for all of our baits, and of course the mold that we're using, at least right now, is the AI 5-inch swim bait mold, and we'll probably run some 6-inchers as well. Yeah, check out this little view here. This is sort of like a purple, I think I usually call these like purple shads. Just fill them up, top them off with just a little kind of charcoal gray, and it's a really natural color, but I've never put the dots on it. So this will be my first time dotting this exact color, and I'm pretty excited to see them. Alright, let's see how these turned out. I actually just went to Walmart because I was out of glue, and you need glue to put your eyeballs on. So you can see I really loaded up there. That should last me quite some time. So let's see how these did. It's going to come out on that side. Oh, that side. There we go. Oh yeah, there it is. Let's get a little closer. Boom. Nice kind of purple shad. And what's great about this color is sort of its simplicity, right? It's just 3 things. It's just blue highlight. So that's just some LureWorks blue highlight. This is some Hobby Lobby special purple pearl, and then just whatever your favorite black pigment is. So, you just pour a black little shad dot, and then that is like 2 drops of black to get that charcoal. Like 2 drops of black and 3/4 of a measuring cup. And yeah, you can see you get a really, really attractive, very natural shad color there. So, in fact, the first person I saw do this pattern, and I don't know exactly how he does it, but a monster hand pourer, Alan Hackert Fishing. You can look him up on Instagram. He does this color, but like to the extreme. He's got this one freaking locked in. But yeah, so this is a lot. So this is a lot like this one. It's based on the same pouring. I mean, everything about that is similar, just except for the pigment used. All right, there's a beautiful sight. So I also, just kind of keeping with some of the more popular colors in terms of sales, I went with the green color shift shad, but this time in the 6-inch as opposed, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. 6 inchers as opposed to 5 inchers. Because those 5 inchers were already spoken for. So anyway, let's get one out. And what I'm about to do, of course, is put the eyeballs on them. And then I'll kind of show y'all me taking pictures of them, I guess, because getting a good image of your product is key. And then I'll kind of show y'all the sales method that I've adopted, which is basically known as just doing a bait drop. I basically just call them a sales post, but that's the sales model that I've adopted, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and why that method works for me. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Putting eyeballs on is the absolute worst part of bait making, unless it's like a killer set and you've got some like super cool special eyes, like maybe some custom Jetsons, or maybe you got some dead meats, or you have some brules. But just putting like mass eyes on a bunch of baits is a real bummer. So like, I'm really into watches, and I follow this guy. He runs a YouTube channel called The Timepiece Gentleman. Look at that. That's just insane. That's, I don't know, a couple million in watches right there. All right, yeah, so here's everything that's actually going to be for sale later tonight. So these are actually, all of these Okeechobee Magics are from a recent video. Here are the purple shads that we did. Gosh, I just love that. Purple shads. And then we have the drizzle for shizzles. It's a really cool color in the belly. That's dead on snow shine. And some cool eyes there. And then the ones that my money is on, I think these will sell faster, or the fastest, the 6-inch green shads. So now I basically just need to get some good images. All right, so I basically just take pictures of them in my hand. That's just kind of what looks nice to me. So this is basically how I would do this. So I'm gonna just snap a good picture there. Sometimes I like to do like a little close-up right there and make sure that it's like really in focus. So basically something like that. Yeah, that right there's looking pretty fire. And now the same thing with the 5-inchers. So let's see if we can get a good picture here. Oh yeah. Oh no, that keeps moving. Sometimes it's like hard to get the perfect photo. Yeah, that's really sweet. So, no, that's, yeah. That right there pretty much, I think, shows what they are pretty good. So I'm happy with that. So before we actually get to making a sales post and trying to sell all of these baits on the table through my Instagram account, I want to talk a little bit about I guess, my bait business as it is today and sort of how I do my sales. So back when the YouTube channel started gaining a little bit of a following and started getting a little bit more popular, I still had like a fully functional website where you could go and I mean, it was a beautiful website. My sister helped me build it. You know, you could go place a regular order and then I would have to make said orders. And once that became too much, you know, it became basically a burden. I was just unable to fill all of the orders that I was getting. So I had to shut it down. You know, I wasn't going to go back to the full-time bait making life. And I had settled into a good career at the time and, you know, was recently married and all that. And basically had to shut my website off. So I moved into a model to where now I sell on my terms. And there's a couple of benefits there. Basically, I make baits whenever I have the time. And when I say I'm speaking about anyone who wants to do this. You, the bait maker. You make the baits on your time. You make what you want, when you want to make it, and in whatever quantities you want to make it. And you offer it for sale. And, you know, you select a price, and either somebody wants them or they don't. I think one of the greatest benefits to doing it that way is that you control the flow, you control how much product you have to make. Because if you just open yourself up to orders, let's say you get too many orders than you can really make, you know, then it becomes stressful, then it becomes a burden. You know, doing it this way keeps you in charge. You make what you want, you price it how you want, and you let the customers come to you. You can even start a bidding war, I guess. You know, let's say you have something that a lot of people like, post it for sale and let the best offer win. You know, I don't do it that way. I actually just set a price, and my pricing changes a lot. You know, the criticism I get is, why don't you put the price of the baits in the post? And the reason I do that is because it varies and it changes. What I charged for the same set of baits 6 months ago is probably not what I charge now. And I want to avoid people going back on those posts and saying, well, you charged this before, now you charge this. And, you know, I don't want to deal with the drama of any got you type posts. So that's where I'm at, and it's super fun. It keeps me in charge, and it allows me to sell at a volume that's comfortable for me to make, because I'm not trying to make too much or too little. I get to manage my volume, and I get to make what I want. All right, here we go. So we have the Instagram post basically loaded up here. Those are the baits. So several different pictures. And now we're just gonna create the post. I don't really know if y'all really want to see this part. Basically, I'm just gonna write the post real fast, and then I'll show it to you right before we post the post, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. So we just made the post. Oh, there's some high-end watchmaking. So yeah, we just made the post, and basically, we're just gonna watch our inbox here. And see what happens. You know what? My battery's dying. Oh, are you kidding me? Y'all, I might not be able to do this in real time. I'm so sorry. Wow, what a fail. Well, let's see if anybody has already messaged. Let's see. Actually, that's an existing post right there. So yeah, let me make sure the post went live. Okay, yeah, the post is live. We already have a few people who have liked it. And so, you know, this is not just to show, oh, how fast my baits sell. This is just kind of like a little behind the scenes. I think it's fun to just show how I try and sell my baits. And if it's something, I already have a hit. If it's something that you want to adopt, I think it's a good way to sell your stuff. Okay, sure, man, which ones do you want? This is actually another bait maker. Yeah, so we already have, well, you can't see it. We already have a few. Okay, sounds good. The 5-inch purple shad is a $48 set. Let me know if you want them. let's see. Right now I only have the green ones. All right, everybody, I apologize. That is not how I wanted that to go. I let the camera battery charge for about 10 minutes, and they're all already sold, so I wanted y'all to kind of hear my back and forth with the customers. But, you know, basically it goes something like this. You know, how much for the green shad, how much for the purple shad, you know, how much for the Okeechobee Magics, you know, and then I just go back and forth. So what we did, we sold the 8-pack or 8 set of the purple shads. So that was a $48 set. So that's about what I sell a bait that size with that kind of level of complexity at. The 6-inch green color shift shads, that's also a $48 set. So I'm basically pricing those at $8 per bait. Some of my more complicated stuff goes for quite a bit higher than that, but this being a somewhat simple color, you know, that's just kind of where my pricing is at right now for something like that. I let the drizzles go pretty cheap. I let these go for about $5 a bait. And then I sold the entire thing, all of that Okeechobee Magic. I let those go. Oops, sorry. I let those go for about 45 bucks, I believe. So, you know, just a couple of hours of pouring and injection, and you know, I did pretty good as far as sales on those. So, you know, that's kind of you know, the way at least I do my bait business now. And it started out of necessity, like I said. I just couldn't keep up with all the website orders and order requests, people wanting custom orders. So, you know, I went to a model to where now I come out here, I make what I want, what inspires me for that day, and then I post it for sale. That keeps me in charge of volume. It lets the creative juices flow. I'm not making another bag of something that I really don't want to make. Like, oh, I don't want to make more watermelon red today. Maybe I want to make something like this, right? And then offer that to my audience for sale. So it's a really fun way to do business. You know, you get to interact directly with your customers. I mean, not that you don't do that anyway, but you know, you make a post, you see the messages come in, and you know, you get to go back and forth with people, and I just think it's a fun way to sell. So now actually what we're going to do is show you the other part of this. You know, now I'm going to package up baits. I need to print shipping labels. I need to get them out the door. I'm not going to show you that process with these exact baits because these are still new. These need to cure for a couple of days. Some of these swim baits in particular need to cure for 3 or 4 days. So I'm actually going to show you my mailing, the other part of it, the mailing and shipping side, with some baits that I already have that are fully cured, that are ready to go out the door. Oh, and I was wrong. Guess which ones sold the fastest? Guess real quick. Those. So like once an order is complete and I have a paid invoice, you know, normally what I do is I let the baits cure, and I always bring them inside below my fish mounts. And funny enough, this is my kitchen counter. So this is where a lot of my baits cure, because I like to cure them inside in a climate controlled environment, and it's not a nasty dirty garage, so you know, they won't get like dust or dirt or moths. Sometimes like a moth will land on a bait and then it will like stain the white pearl part, and that's just aggravating. So then what I'll do is I'll package them up and just put them in my bait bags, and then I mail them out with just these sort of little bubble mailers. So I have them all packaged up, and I basically just kind of do them opposite of one another to where they fit in the bags. Obviously, you know, clamshells, anyone else wanting to sell some swim baits, you know, clamshells do protect the bait a little bit. You know, these can get real bent up, and you know, the mail doesn't take good care of your stuff. You know, part of the reason why I cure them so long is so that they can get kinked up in a bag, but they're still going to be straight, or should still remain straight whenever they get to the destination. So basically now we're just gonna log on to my computer here. And you know, I do everything through PayPal. So obviously I can't show you all the back end of my PayPal. It has people's personal information on there and you know, addresses, things like that. But basically what I like to do is I like to take this little thermal label printer, right? And I'll show you how fast this thing spits out a label. I can't really show you the label, of course, but this is cool. This is the system that works for me. You know, all my transactions are through PayPal. I can do the invoices through PayPal. All my customers can use PayPal, and I can do all the shipping right here. So, you know, once these you know, swim baits are bagged up, pretty much everything can be done right here on this counter. Okay, here we go. 10 ounces. Okay, so 9 ounces. All right. So basically, I'm just going to enter that in as 10 ounces whenever I go to ship it. That way, the mail won't come back to me and say, you only put 9 ounces and it weighs more than that, because they will do that. So like, I'll just show you real quick here. This package, first class mail for me, going to Oklahoma, a 10 ounce package, $4.20. So I usually charge a little less than what it actually cost me to ship, but that's okay. So now we're just going to buy this shipping label. All right, so without letting y'all actually like read the label, I just hit print. Watch how fast this thing prints. Well, once it actually goes. There we go. Boom, just like that, you've got a label. So yeah, there it is, all done. And what was once a counter full of swim baits and junk is now much cleaner, which I'm sure the wife will appreciate. All right, so Landon and I, here's Mr. Landon. We are at the final part of this process, thank you. And it's gone, just like that. So, Mr. Neil in Texas, your baits are on the way. So anyway, it's nice when your packages aren't too big or heavy that you can just put them in that. I don't actually have to go into the post office. So this is, oh, it's such a relief when I finally get them out the door and in the mailbox.